Hey y'all, welcome back to Made It Out. Today is a very exciting episode, especially for all of our Survivor heads. I am here with five-time player, one-time winner, the Black Widow, Parvati Shallow. You might also know her from Traders, or she's recently written a book, Nice Girls Don't Win. We're talking about how she was literally born into a cult, which I think we're supposed to be calling a commune. It was Kashi Ashram in Florida, how her family escaped the cult, how it made her a better Survivor player, but then how she realized that maybe those skills weren't serving her life. We talk about how she came out after a marriage and after having a child, what queerness means to her today, and if she would ever play Survivor again. With Mint, you can get the coverage and the speed you're used to, but for way less money. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you will be chilling, literally and financially. If I had any plans of getting off of my parents' cell phone plan, this Mint Mobile deal would be the first place I would go. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank and get this new customer offer and your 3 months unlimited wireless plan just for $15 a month at mintmobile.com/made. That's mintmobile.com/made. Upfront payment of $45 is required, which is equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. You know how couples can tend to drift apart over time, and it's rarely one big fight. It's like life just gets busy and distractions pile up, and slowly you lose that close connection that you once cherished in the beginning. And that's actually why 50% of marriages end in divorce, not from a lack of love, but just from a lack of intentional connection. That is where Paired comes in. It's the #1 couples app that helps you to improve your relationship. Taking just minutes each day, curated by real relationship therapists, Paired use expert-backed research to support making a lasting impact for couples during any phase. Practice making your relationship a priority every day with Paired. Head to paired.com/made to get a 7-day free trial and 25% off if you sign up for a subscription. That's paired.com/made. paired.com/made to sign up today.
Okay.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Wait, have we not started?
I know we haven't started. We're just hanging out, you know. I am from Texas.
Oh.
I grew up around a lot of religion that didn't feel like something that resonated with me, but I felt like I needed to fit into that world. So I'm fascinated with religion, cults. This is something that I've wanted to talk about for a really long time, and I feel like you're the right person. So thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I want to start with, there's this like thing that people think about with cults, that it's like robes and brainwashing, and it's like hard to fall into. But your parents seem very smart and like good and like seekers. And so I want to hear how they fell into where they did.
Oh, well, I interviewed them for my book because I didn't have memories of a lot of my childhood in the commune. And my parents shared with me a lot of their story. And it was really interesting for me because I was like, oh, well, yeah, if I had been 20, disillusioned by the Catholic Church, it was too controlling, but really got high on, singing in a group, being around high-minded, like-minded individuals in a community who made me feel loved and like I belonged and gave me purpose, I would have joined the cult, like 1,000%. And since then, I've joined many cult-ish, like, groups and had many cultish experiences, Survivor being one of them. Very similar, a lot of parallels with Survivor and the commune where I grew up. And I did it 5 times. Like, clearly I have
love that shit.
culty fetish. There's something about it. It's very alluring. There's some figurehead who says, I have the answers. I'm the direct link to God. I'm going to show you how to live your life. You're not sure if you're making good decisions? Don't worry, you don't have to make any anymore. I'll do it for you. And they're saying they've got all the right answers. So you're like, okay, great, I surrender. It's like for anyone who likes that feeling of kind of releasing control and being controlled like your sexy haikus. I'm like, it's hot. Well, now I play around with those dynamics in the bedroom, but before I was aware that I really was into that kind of power play, I was just getting into those kind of situations all over my life, which can be very damaging unless you're aware of it and doing it consciously. I think anyone can fall into a cult. I think especially if you're feeling low or kind of down on yourself, or if you're feeling lonely and lost. It's just like these people have the answers.
Tell me about this specific commune.
This specific commune was a Hindu spiritual community. It was run by a female guru, which made it unique among all the other sort of spiritual Hindu communities around. They were very a la mode at the time in the 70s, 80s, even early 90s, where these masters from India had come over and were teaching meditation and breath work. And these techniques were making people high. They work. The breathwork techniques, the meditation, the chanting, the late nights staying up, the being in the group, everyone's kind of energy syncing up. When I moved to LA, I joined Kundalini yoga. And that kind of style of yoga just makes you so high. So it's really like, you kind of start to crave it. And I was born into it. So my parents moved there individually. My mom was 25 when she had me, and my dad was 30. They tried to get away, which was that's the first chapter of the book, where they're like pushing me out of a window, leaving. They realize the commune is unhealthy for them. The guru has started taking everyone's money and seemingly using drugs, like nodding off as if she's been doing heroin, just covered in gold, and arranging marriages, taking people's babies, like really very, very controlling, financially controlling, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually manipulative, the whole thing. Like,
When did that take a turn? Because it seems like your parents were in it, they really believed in it, and then what happened that kind of triggered that change?
well, I think this is how these leaders, and this even happens in one-on-one relationships, where a person who is this very charismatic, strong, kind of authoritative leader presence will love bomb. And they just are like giving, giving, giving. So fun to be around, just kind of showing everyone the best parts of what life could be like. And then at some point, the mask falls away and it becomes, oh, I've got these people locked in. And now I can switch and show the truth of like what I really want is control. So I think what happened was this guru, like she couldn't keep the power in a high frequency. Like she couldn't stay elevated and good. And she just got drunk with her power. And she was like, God, I have control of all these people. And then I think it just tipped. And the switch flipped. And everyone was kind of just so bought in at that point and had devoted themselves to her so much.
Yeah.
Told all their family members this is what they're doing, given the guru all their money, all their authority, and their self over to this person. So it's like, how do I get out of this? You're in so deep. So they had me, my parents had me. And then they were like, we got to get out of here. You know what it was? It was this one thing that tipped it over. And I think I wrote this in my book where the guru had, oh, maybe I didn't write this, but the guru started asking people to tell their parents that they had cancer. So their parents would give the devotees of the ashram money.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
they would give the money to the guru. And my parents were like, that's too far.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. That's like having a boyfriend who plays Sims.
Right.
Like you're not going to go down that path.
Right. Exactly. This is our line. We are you ghosting the cult.
Yeah, we are out. So they ghosted in the middle of the night, but they didn't have the support system in place for them to stabilize outside.
Okay. Before leaving, what are your memories as a kid of this commune?
So I was a baby when they first escaped.
Oh, you were very, very little.
A baby. I had like, I maybe was 6 months old. But then they went back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I haven't made it there yet in the book.
Well, get ready because it's like, you're like, no, don't go back. But that's what everyone says who reads the book. They're like, why? But this is what happens. And I read on average, it takes a person 7 times to leave an abusive relationship. And a commune, a high control spiritual community, cult like commune, I'm not calling it a cult for legal purposes,
Sure.
but is it was an abusive situation for sure. So they went back, and then we stayed there until I was 9, and then they got us out. So my memories of this commune are sort of tainted by what I was told to believe, because I don't really have a lot of my own memories. The memories that I have are flashes. And I think it was because there was so much intensity around, there was like public shamings of kids and adults in big groups. And that to me was pretty destabilizing and like awful as a kid to like watch my friends get stood up in the middle of their parents and everyone and shamed for kissing each other in the bathroom when they were 5. And I thought it happened to me, because our kid brains don't have the separation that our adult brains have. So anything that's happening to another kid feels like it was happening to me. So there was a lot of very idyllic moments where I was running around in the woods, a lot of freedom, not so much adult oversight. Like everything was a group activity. Like dinners were group dinners. We would have these spiritual events, these ceremonies at night where the guru would gather everyone around a fire. It was very similar to tribal council.
I know, in my head, I'm literally picturing Survivor.
It's very Jeff Probst, tribal council, sitting around this fire. And it's sort of this like kind of primal experience where the guru is like, okay, if you have any karma, anything that's holding you back in your life, anything you want to get rid of, anything that makes you feel bad or guilty, throw it into the fire. The guru will take your karma. And then people would just like throw in like they were sexually assaulted as a child, or they hurt someone or whatever. And they would just be like throwing their quote unquote bad deeds into the fire, and the guru would take it, transmute it, and then they would be freed. The guru died in 2012. They're still holding these fire ceremonies down there, and they have a throne to the guru with her picture on it, sitting on it as if she is still everyone's higher power. It is wild. So as a child, I think now, like looking back, what I learned from that is I don't have like a sense of self. Like there's like, you're not allowed to have a self. Like your authority lives outside of you. And I think a lot of people are taught this in religion and churches. And I mean, I have friends who left Mormonism and Jehovah's Witness, and they had the same kind of experience where it's just like the church is God.
Yeah.
And you're not. So like any question that you have, ask it of some higher authority or some expert, and they'll tell you what to do. So my work has been really coming home into my body. And this was the whole purpose of my book, was to take readers from a place of externalizing their authority to internalizing it, where at the end of the book, I'm my own authority. I know I fail sometimes too, but I think just getting to a place where I can ask a question of myself and then have the answer
Within yourself.
within myself has been like truly the work of my life. Wow. Because no one was allowed to have a self.
Well, when did you start to realize that and question that?
Well, I got into a really pretty devastating relationship. Like my marriage was really unhealthy. And once I got out of it, sitting alone in my apartment for the first time, sharing custody. So my daughter was with her dad for a few days, stretches at a time, and I couldn't reach her. And I was grieving that so deeply, like the loss of the family that I'd really wanted and the loss of my child who I felt like so connected to. And I was just like in this empty space. I was like, how did I get here? I feel like I'm a smart person. I'm smart. I've been able to overcome a lot of things in my life. I've won Survivor, for God's sakes. Like, you don't like do that by being a dum-dum
Right.
So I sat there and I was like, okay, I'm smart, but clearly have some serious challenges with making healthy decisions for myself. So I just started myself on this like very extensive healing process of doing a ton of somatic therapy, which is just embodied therapy, because I would do talk therapy and I could talk circles around my therapist.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know exactly what you want to hear. And I was like performing for my therapist. And I was like, I can't do this. This doesn't work for me. I have to be in my body to really have any kind of shift or feeling of like, because I think what was happening was I'm so good at dissociating.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so good at Survivor and doing these very hardcore kind of physical endurance, grueling suffering activities. And it's probably why I survived an unhealthy relationship for so long, was because I can tolerate a lot of suffering and pain. So I had to get to a place where I was like, oh, well, why am I doing this? Let
Yeah,
me
like I don't
stop.
it doesn't have to be this way.
It could actually be fun and easy and feel good.
Let's talk about Survivor a little bit, because I'm interested. You're saying that that's why you were so good at it. Like almost you took these things that were survival skills and you made them, they were your advantage in this like weird setting that's like so abnormal.
Totally.
And like what drew you to that? And did you know that it was this past and this history that you have?
I believe that we magnetize the life experiences and people that we need to help us understand ourselves. And I think because I had no real conscious memories of my childhood, I stepped into an arena that would let me play out those emotional themes.
Wow. And what did that look like?
Oh my God, it was this beautiful utopian world on the outside. And like you, as a Survivor player, you've got 10 other people you're playing this game with in the beginning, right? The tribes are split into two tribes of 10 when I played. That's what it was like. They're all quote unquote your friends, right? Like, however, underneath that and in the back of your mind, you're like, wait a minute. Like, I have to rely on these people to survive. We have to bond and connect, and I have to trust them to an extent. But then these people are gonna try to vote me out.
Right.
Like, they're gonna try to get rid of me. They're trying to win this game just like I'm trying to win this game. So I can't really trust them. It's like I trust you outwardly on the surface, but deep down I'm like, no, I can't trust you. That was my childhood. I thrived in that environment. I'm freaking good at it because I was born into it and trained in it for 9 years. Of like, that's when we get our blueprint set in our subconscious of how life works, is
Right.
when we're 0 to 7.
Wow. And did you know that on a conscious level when you were
No.
playing the game? No, you didn't.
No.
Which is so fascinating.
I had no
That's
idea.
crazy.
I was just like, wow.
You're like, I'm just really fucking good at this.
I'm so good at this weird, crazy game. Wow. I am literally the best. I'm amazing at Survivor. And I've been trying to explore that. I'm like, how is it that I'm so good at it? And I've talked to my friend like Tyson Apostle, who's my friend from Survivor, also grew up in the Mormon church, and he's great at Survivor. And Ethan grew up in a Jewish religion, and he's good at Survivor. And I'm like, oh my God. So is it that people that grow up in high control environments really just, we are so good at Survivor, and I would say reality competition in general, because that's the premise. It's like build relationships, but then beat the people that are your friends,
Yeah.
and take them out.
With Mint, you can get the coverage and speed that you're used to, but for way less money. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you will be chilling, literally and financially. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring all of your phone numbers and contacts along with you. If I had any plans of getting off of my parents' cell phone plan, Mint Mobile would be the very first place I would go. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank and get this new customer offer and your 3 months unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/made. That's mintmobile.com/made. Upfront payment of $45 is required, which is equivalent to the $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only, and speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details. You know how couples tend to drift apart over time, and it's rarely one big fight? It's life just getting busy and distractions piling up and slowly losing that close connection you cherished in the beginning. That's why nearly 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's not from a lack of love, but from a lack of intentional connection. And that's where Paired comes in, the #1 couples app that helps you to improve your relationship, taking just minutes each day, curated by real relationship therapists. Paired uses expert-backed research to support making a lasting impact for couples during any phase. Okay, so here's how it works. You and your partner download the app and pair together. And then every day, Paired sends you a 5-minute game or quiz or question designed to deepen your relationship. Answer on your own time. And once you're done, Pair will reveal your partner's answer so you can have open, stress-free, honest conversation. Paired creates a safe space for hard conversations and to rediscover each other and to deepen desire and closeness. Paired has helped Matilda and I work through some love language differences through a game literally called Love Languages, and it's been so great for us. Practice making your relationship a priority every single day with Paired. Head to paired.com/made to get a 7-day free trial and 25% off if you sign up for a subscription. That's paired.com/made to sign up today.
Yeah. And still have them like you enough to, well, I'm a Big Brother watcher, so it's like so fascinating to then those people are the ones that pick if you win or not.
Right.
It's like, so everybody still has to like you, but it's so fuck.
Guru games, baby.
So what do you think are the biggest parallels in Survivor? Like what specifically were you good at in that game?
I'm really good at like love bombing. Like I'm really good at connecting with people very quickly. I'm so honestly just inherently curious about people, which helps a lot. And I'm very goal oriented. So I'm like, I'm going to win this game and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win this game. And I also really love people. And it's very easy for me to be super warm, connect with people on an authentic, deep level, really quickly bond with someone and have them feel like I got their back all the way to the end. But then I can also hide my true intentions. I'm not good at point blank lying, which is why I struggled with traitors. I was so bad at that. I'm just like squinty, pouty, weird.
Okay.
But I can hide the truth.
Yes.
Like saying, I'm not a traitor and you're a traitor and she's a traitor and that's hard for me.
Right.
But being like, yeah, I got you. We're going to the end. Like I can say those kinds of things. It's weird. It's like, I feel like if I'm lying point blank about something that I could get caught, I suck because I'm going to get called out. I'm going to get found out. But if I can lie to you about, oh, I got you tonight, like we're going to vote Eliza and she's out. And then I'm like secretly talking to Eliza and we're going to blindside you and then you're gone. I'm like, I'm never going to be confronted about this. So
it's
amazing.
like easy to detach.
It's very easy to detach. I think I picked that up from the commune because we left when I was 9 and it was a like guillotine experience. Like that life did not exist anymore for me. So I had these incredibly tight bonds with my best friends and this group of girls that were my tightest, closest posse. Think Black Widow Brigade on Survivor, tightest, closest posse, Amanda, Serene, Natalie, Alexis. And then my family and I left when I was 9. My parents never spoke about the commune ever again. We moved into this whole new environment. It was inner city Georgia. I had friends who were from like vastly different cultures and I had to assimilate to survive. So I was like, I can't even think about my old life because it's not safe to think about because my parents weren't talking about it. So I'm like, well, clearly something's wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I'm done with that and I'm moving forward. So I think that's also another thing that makes me really good at Survivor is that I can bond with people and then detach from like really close relationship. And it feels so intensely real when you're playing Survivor because you're depending on these people for your
Survival.
warmth. Your survival. Like you're like cuddling them so hard at night because you're like, I'm going to freeze to death without your body heat. And then you're like, I'm blindsiding you tonight. And then you don't have your cuddle buddy and you're like, it's hard out there. It's hard out there in Fiji, you know?
Yeah.
But also I can justify it because it's a game.
Yeah.
And everybody knows the rules of the game. Everyone is out there to win. And everyone knows this is a game of deception, manipulation, lying, backstabbing. It's kill or be killed. It's survival of the fittest. Like that's how I justify and rationalize doing those kind of dirty deeds in those games is that everyone's stepping into this arena.
But were they just in the game? Or was this something you were doing in real life too?
I think in my close relationships, in my intimate relationships, this is like my biggest challenge point. And I don't do it like with my friends. I think I have a lot more like leniency and forgiveness, but I'm just, yeah, it's where it's my growth edge is like, how do I know when to stay and really work on something? And when something isn't, it's not going to work.
I am so fascinated right now because this is exactly my work in life. Like I am the same exact way. How do I know when to cut somebody out and when it's actually better for me to keep you in my life? Because I need to open my heart a little bit more.
Right.
And I'm the same way. I have friends from home, from Texas, from whatever that I'm like, I don't talk to anymore. And I was so close to them when I was there, but now I'm like,
Right.
And that is weird, I guess. And I feel like that too. Like I feel so intensely bonded to these people, but I'm not very forgiving.
Right.
Like I'm kind of just like, whatever, you kind of suck now. I've decided that you're done. And I don't know. It's interesting hearing you like mirroring this back to me. I'm like, oh, oops.
Oh my God. I know. I feel like we have a strong resonance. I'm like, oh God, what do we do with our lives? But I'm like, I think if you're a person who orients towards growth, and I think you're a person who grows, and clearly, and if you're even having conversations like this, you're a growth oriented person. So if you do that, you evolve fast, and some people don't. And then you're like, well, you're stuck. This person is stuck. And if you and I keep spending time with that person, does it just bring you back to the past? And then does it feel like weighty and kind of like heavy?
Would you say people recharge you or people like you have to recharge alone?
It really depends.
Interesting.
I love and cherish my alone time because I have a 7-year-old daughter. And when she is with me, it is full on. Like she's not this kind of kid who's like silently doing her artwork and reading to herself. She's like, Mom, what are we doing? Tell me, like, give me some entertainment, play with me. It is nonstop. So if I don't have her, I'm like, oh, I cherish like a long hike or just taking a bath, or I really like being alone. But then I have some people in my life who are fireflies and they just light up my entire life. Like my friend Amy Bean, who I met on Deal or No Deal Island last year. She and I started the Nice Girls Don't Win podcast. And I just started that with her because I love hanging out with her and talking to her. And she's so fun. So anytime I'm with her, I'm just like really fed and lit up. I love being around people who are like, bring that kind of energy. Mm-hmm. And then if people don't, and it's hard work to be around them, I will be around them because it's important to have, a balance and diversity and variety in life. But yeah, I know the difference.
Yeah. I really resonate with this because I think that's a big thing in mine and Matilda's relationship too. Like she has so much energy for people and like all different types of people. Some who, from an outsider's perspective, draining and like not really additive or, in the ways that I see additive, but to her they are. But I have a hard time because I don't want to fucking be around these people. Like I can't do this,
Right.
So it's like a big thing that we've had to navigate of like, where is that line, and when do we separate, and I do for me and you do for you? And that's hard in a lesbian relationship because everything is so, enmeshed, and even with work, it's that way. So it's interesting to talk to someone who's more like me, because I'm usually around Matilda and I'm like, but wait, how can you be around these people,
How can you be around these people? And I think Matilda. Why? Well, look, I have been working as a life coach for 10, 15, 12, I don't know. No, not that long. 8 years. Because I'm like, I started it when I was pregnant with my daughter. So 8 years. And it is an emotionally intensive experience to hold space for people's feelings and process. And some people, it takes them a longer time to grow or move through something hard than other people. And I'm like, if I'm doing this in my work and I'm doing this with my daughter, I don't want to hold emotional space for people that are stuck in my friendships and in my intimate relationships. I want you to be able to get yourself through it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do it. And then I'm like, oh, does that make me, I'm never going to have a relationship? I don't know.
You know what? It is, I will say it is like a challenging part of being in a relationship, because it's like what I've realized, especially with Matilda, is like that is the most beautiful thing about her, is that she's so open to everyone. And even it's why we work, because I can be fucking crazy sometimes, And so she has the patience for me. And that's why it works.
Same.
So I also have to look to you and be like, okay, these qualities are ones that I could learn from and gain from. And you could also gain from my qualities. And it's like that constant balance of like, so yeah, you can be in a relationship. It's just really fucking hard.
Oh my God. I know.
It's just really exhausting because we think we're right.
We think we're right. And I'm like, I just want to feel good.
Yes.
I want to have a good time. It's hard being a single mom. And like, I've stopped with a lot of my private coaching clients. I've shifted out of that since I've been doing more television and more book promotion. And it's been really nice to kind of reclaim that space and time for myself and reclaim my own emotional energy for me and just give it to me. I've really been enjoying that. So I'm like, oh yeah, where's the balance? I don't know. This is the edge.
It's the work.
Yeah.
And you'll find it. And I feel like I'm right in the middle of that. And I feel like you do so much of that work on your own, and you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm good on my own. And then you get into a relationship and you're triggered back into all of it. And you're like, shit, I guess I wasn't so good on all that work that I thought I had
know.
done.
I'm like, I like feeling like I'm good on my own.
Stay single then. Because that's what happens. You're in it 3 years in and you're like, fuck, I actually am not healed at all.
I know. Shit.
When did you realize then, I guess you said in your relationship, that these qualities weren't always serving you? Because in Survivor, it sounds like you were like, I'm good. This is, whatever.
Survivor. I won Survivor
Right.
by being able to tolerate suffering. Mm-hmm. And by being the best at suffering. So in my relationship, I'm like, this is really bad. It's really bad. I don't want to be the best at suffering in my intimate romantic relationship. I think that there is another way to do this. So I think what happened in my marriage was I just got to this point where I couldn't be myself. Like I couldn't speak freely. And when I did say things or ask for things, I was shut down or met with hostility and anger. And I was like, I can't move forward in this relationship. So I really had to sit with myself and be like, okay, I'm going to leave this marriage. And when I do, I'm going to lose a lot. I'm going to lose the dream of a nuclear family. I'm going to lose the support of his extended family and a lot of our friends. And I'm going to be alone. Like, is that worth it? Is the trade-off worth it? So I was like, the trade-off is I'm going to lose all this stuff. My daughter might hate me. I don't know what's going to happen because my husband at the time had been diagnosed with cancer, stage 4. So I was like, he might die in the middle of this divorce, and that I have to like also accept to be able to leave this marriage, which was like a real mind fuck. And I was like, okay, what am I doing it for? I'm doing it for the chance at finding love and the freedom to be myself. So it was like those two things weighed more than all of the stuff that I was going to lose by leaving. So I left for the possibility of love and the freedom to be myself. So I think now getting into any relationship, it's so important to me to have the freedom to be myself. And I'm still figuring out what that is and what that looks like, because I did leave a situation that was really controlling. And I have been in so many situations that have been very controlling. So I've coupled love and control.
Yep.
So I'm really working on separating those two, like love and control are not the same thing. I don't want to go towards control because it feels familiar. So I'm distancing myself from anything that feels like that.
What does that work look like?
Oh my God. It's hard because I do like being tied up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it is hot. Control is hot sometimes. And I like playing with that energy. So I'm like, okay, control in its proper arena, it looks like getting tied up in the bedroom. But outside of that, it's like, it's sort of like when I feel like I have to censor myself, then I question that. Then I'm like, what's that about? I try to stay curious rather than shutting down someone or some relationship that I've started, because clearly if I'm getting into a relationship, there's love there. And that's like beautiful and valuable, and it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
So I want to like explore it to its edges and see like, well, what's mine here to own, and then what's not, and just work with that. But it's hard. I work with a somatic therapist every other week because I'm like, help me. I don't know how to do this.
Where did queerness come in?
Well, I think it was coming into that freedom. Really, truly. Once I got out of my marriage, I was like dating men, and I was like, oh God, they're so blah.
Feel that.
I was like, oh, they're just really, I want to be with someone who's like emotionally attuned and intelligent and smart and funny and can think on their feet, and also hot and sexy in the bedroom. And it wasn't men.
Fair.
At that point. Yeah. So yeah, as soon as I just opened up my brain to be like, why haven't I dated women? Why haven't I explored queerness? It was like instantly happened for me.
Wow.
As soon as I opened my mind up and I was like, yeah, I'm open to this. It just showed up, and it showed up without, like, I could not have avoided it if I tried. The many synchronicities and signs in my face that was like, date this person.
Yeah.
Were everywhere. And I wrote about it in the book.
I can't wait to get to that part.
I know, because it completely changed my life. I like was experimenting with so many different things in the bedroom. That was such a blast, and just it broke me out of this box that I'd been performing of like woman. I'd been playing woman for so long. And then I was like, oh, this like man-woman power dynamic doesn't exist in a queer relationship.
Yeah.
And that was so liberating.
Was there talk of queerness on the commune? Was it really shut down? Was it welcomed?
I don't remember any of that. I mean, the guru was arranging marriages, but they were heterosexual marriages. And if anyone had a relationship that wasn't sanctioned by the guru, she would break them up. If she found out about it, she had spies everywhere. And if her spies told her that those two people are getting together, and she was like, she would call for them individually and then tell them they couldn't see each other anymore. And the man would have to become a celibate monk, and he would shave his head.
Oh my God.
And maybe the woman would be arranged with someone else, some other dude on the ranch that Ma had control over.
Do you feel like you struggled with queerness at like, once your mind made the switch, did you struggle with it at all? Or was it just like, oh,
My mind made the switch, and there were a couple moments that I had to say yes internally.
Okay.
Like I had to give myself permission to step into this very new experience that I was nervous about. And I am the kind of person who really enjoys like the unknown. I really love pushing a door open and not knowing what's going to be on the other side. So that was fun for me.
Yeah.
But I did have to say yes to my first like intimate experience with a not man and being out in the world, like holding hands and being seen in that relationship. And as soon as I said yes, it was like instantly fine.
Do you feel differences in your relationships with women and with men? Also, I'm curious just because the cult leader,
Was
the
a
commune
woman.
leader.
Yeah, she was a woman. And that was my primary attachment figure was the guru. So yes, I have parents who I was attached to. And my parents were attached to the guru. Everyone in the commune, including me, was attached to the guru. She was my primary attachment figure. So I think that this does play a part in my attachment to women or not non-binary people. I have always had very, very deep emotional bonds and attachments to women in general because I feel safer with women. I dive in kind of really head first into these relationships with women or non-binary people where I'm like, if there's chemistry and there's a connection and I'm pulled into this, I'm very deeply attached.
It would almost seem like because of the past or because this primary attachment figure was ultimately abusive, you would like maybe turn away, but it seems like you're drawn in more.
You know what? I think that is. It's like we're drawn into these experiences to heal.
Yeah.
Like my inner child, my little girl inside is like, yeah, we can get the love that we never got as a kid from this person. And so maybe there is something magnetic about an emotionally intelligent, charismatic, powerful woman or a non-binary person that I'm drawn to, that I'm like, I want this relationship to work and to be a non-abusive relationship because my child self really longed for that. And
Yeah,
didn't get
that's
it.
really interesting. I feel it's kind of like when they say, like, usually they say girls fall in love with their dads.
Right.
I
But
mean,
I fell in love with my guru.
and I fell in love with my mom.
Oh.
So it's kind of, what does that say about us?
Oh, no, Mathilde.
What does queerness mean to you today as like a lens, as a politic, as
Queerness is the freedom to be yourself and express yourself as yourself, whatever that means for me as a person or anyone else. Like, I really love the term queer. I didn't know that I was queer until I filled out a survey for Peacock for the Traders PR. And I was with May at the time, and it was like a drop-down menu, and it was like, May and I were living together. It was like a full-on, very serious relationship with a non-binary person. And the drop-down menu was like, are you LGBTQ plus? Are you an ally? Are you none of the above? And I was like, I am an ally. Click. I'm an ally. Because I was like, I love May. I'm an ally. And then May was like, Parv, you're not. You're in this relationship too. Oh my God, I am. I'm queer. So I really like. Yeah, it was so funny and wild. And I was like, oh my God, fuck, I'm fucking queer. It was so good. And then I did every podcast I could do. And I did Logo Spell with Johnny Sibley. And I was like talking about strap-ons and stuff. And I was like, I fucking love being queer.
all you needed was that switch.
I was like, I just didn't know. I didn't know because I'd seen myself as straight for my whole life, I guess, or as an ally, like a supportive member of the community.
We all start as allies.
I guess so. Yeah.
But it's so interesting to hear you say that queerness is freedom, because that's what you were saying, that after your marriage, you were like craving and wanting.
It's
and
all I
so
want.
it's interesting that you found this like identity and this life that lends itself to more of that.
I think so. And I think just because I grew up on a commune, there wasn't like a nuclear family unit that was so contained as we see all over the United States. It's like then we moved to suburban Georgia, and everyone was in a nuclear
Yeah.
household with, mom, dad, kid, or maybe they were divorced, but not really. Like it was mom, dad, kid
Yeah.
in Georgia, in the suburbs where we lived. And so I went from this like very communal, very free looking, but very controlling lifestyle. So it was so confusing, all of those elements. And then we moved to suburban Georgia where it was like very contained. This is how you do life and love and family. It is 2-parent household and then the kids. Now that I've gotten out of my marriage, I'm like, well, what do I want my family to look like and be like? And I can take elements of my communal childhood lifestyle. So I have my daughter has a lot of aunties and she
Yeah.
has fairy godmothers. And I have this extended family that I've built from friends who will drop things at a dime and come over and help me with my kid if I need it. Because I have a career that I really love and want to do. And my parents will come and support when I'm off doing a show or when I'm doing my book tour. Like my dad came and supported for that. I just like really love having family dinners and people over, and it's very sort of communal at my house.
Yes.
My work is sort of like, how do I do partnership inside of that?
That's really interesting. And I feel like queerness will give you more of that. Even with Matilda and I, we're at an interesting point where like I have a very specific view of marriage, and it was very I grew up in Texas. It was very suburban Georgia, like, mom, dad, nuclear family. Matilda grew up where there was a lot of divorce in her family and a lot of, she's never seen really a good marriage. And so now it's like this coming together of how can we make it something that we want, and how do we give our kids what you're talking about, the community. And it doesn't have to just be like us and kids. It can be, all the gay aunts, and maybe we all live on like close to each other or on a street. Like queerness does allow for your mind to open up a little bit and be like, okay, it doesn't have to look this certain way. And I think it's the perfect playground for you to marry those two different like experiences. So I think that's really beautiful.
Thank you. It does feel kind of like this creative project for me now that I'm taking a lot less seriously than I did before I had a kid, because when you just have this longing for something that's so deep and overwhelming, I couldn't see anything beyond wanting to have a baby and wanting to be a mother. And now that I have that, I'm like, okay, now I don't have to do it the like right way.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because I fulfilled that longing. That has also liberated me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I wouldn't be in a queer relationship because I wanted to have a baby. And I wouldn't have even have thought I could do that with a woman. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have crossed my mind. And I didn't think, and I wrote this in my book, I was like, I don't want to be a single, I don't want to do it myself. I didn't want to be a single mom. I wanted to have a partner, and I wanted to raise a family. I wanted to have a baby with a partner. And then it just didn't work for me. That did not work out with the person that I married. So I did end up being a single mom. And I'm actually like, oh, well, it's given me a lot of freedom. And now I really embrace that. And I'm grateful that I was able to step out of the marriage and choose that.
Yeah.
Having already fulfilled that desire of being a mom has also really given me a lot more space to kind of breathe into what I want to make of my family and life. And I think kind of everyone is sort of at this choice point in our society, because I think a lot of people are seeing that it's not really ideal having a male-female heterosexual marriage. Usually the woman is the one who ends up doing the bulk of all of the work and labor, emotional labor, mental load, all that stuff. And it's like, fuck, why? Would we keep doing the same thing that's hurting us?
Yeah.
Because we're good at suffering? No.
You heard it here. No.
Stop.
Yeah, I think it is just embracing that and being like, wow, this really can be whatever we make it.
Yes.
And I like that that's what you're saying. I think all of us have this, we were sold this prescribed way of doing life. And this is like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to want. And I think we are in a place of like, we can make this whatever the fuck we want. And that's becoming more accepted. And I love that. And I love that you're like living that.
That was really what I wanted to do with my book, was to tell these stories in a way that helped people to feel it in their own lives, in whatever circumstances they're going through. Because I talked about the commune. I talked about us leaving that that was like my first abusive relationship, right? Leaving that, and then assimilating to Georgia life, like Southern Belle, flirty girl. How do I get power here in this female body inside of these rules and this structure that's very heteronormative kind of situation? And then moving to LA and not knowing what I was going to do with my life. And then getting into a relationship that didn't work, but I got married, I had the baby. Then I was like, all right, I'm going to get divorced. And then coming out in a queer relationship, it's like and losing my brother to addiction. There's a lot of themes in the book that are very deeply human themes that I think any reader can relate to. That's why I told the stories I told in the book. There's a lot more stories I could have told from my life, but I selected specific stories that I thought would be very relatable for people. And I wasn't trying to like be the hero or make myself look good. It was just sort of like, yeah, I floundered through. I made a lot of mistakes, but like I got out of things that weren't good for me. And now I'm here in a place of a lot more freedom and creative expression. And now what do I want to make of this authority that I've claimed for myself?
Of course, you made it out.
I made it out. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Can you tell people where to find the book?
The book is available wherever books are sold. You can buy it anywhere. Follow me on Instagram at Shallow. I'm still doing book events. Now that the tour officially is complete, I'm still doing like drag shows sometimes that are so fun and book signing events. I have one coming up for the premiere of Australian Survivor vs. the World.
Oh my gosh.
That we filmed last year, but that's airing August 17th. And we're going to do a party. I'm doing one with Reality Bar and I'll have the book there. So if people want it signed, there's still ways to get signed copies.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Would you ever play Survivor again? Now with your now that you've made it out?
Girl, hell no.
No, okay. I'm just curious. It would probably be such a different experience.
Well, it would be, and it was, because I played it last year.
Oh my God, you never stopped
I
playing Survivor.
know. Something's wrong with me. Okay, haven't we established that from this conversation?
Okay, but now you're really done?
I made it out. I
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
out. Don't take me back. Well, no, they said it takes 7 times. I'm only on 5.
You're only on 5.
I got 2 more times.
Okay, we play a game.
Okay.
It's called You Haul or You Ghost.
Oh, God. Okay.
So you're in the dating world. You meet someone. They're perfect in every way. They're your dream person, except for this one like quirk. They blow on their food to cool it down.
U-Haul. That's fine.
This kind of gives me the ick.
Really? I'm like, oh, I feel like, oh.
That's cute. Okay.
Well, I mean, I have a 7-year-old and she's like, I blow on her food.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Fair.
Yeah.
They have an Instagram page for their dog.
Oh, God. You ghost. You would have one. I feel like you would haul.
You do?
You would haul into that one.
Here's what I will say. If you have the humor for it, if you're witty like that and you're good in like writing and you're good creatively like that, it can be funny.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's cringy.
If you're using it to make money.
Also, yeah. Also, if the dog's paying bills.
Yeah. If your dog is like your child star, like, okay, you haul.
Yeah, we're going to Maui because your
business.
dog got a brand deal. Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. 4 seasons for your dog story. Okay.
Yeah, fair.
Take me away.
They're obsessed with playing Sims.
No.
Yeah, this one's
You
ghost.
ghost.
I
If
agree.
they have a fantasy world that's not real, I can't.
I agree.
No.
I'm a ghost.
Poof.
But where is the line between Sims and then it's like a video game?
Isn't Sims a video game?
Yeah, but like Sims feels like you're living a whole different life. You're living through these people. And then there's like Fortnite, which is just like another thing, but there's still like a gamer.
Oh, to be honest,
I'm ghosting
I
everyone.
overlook red flags. Like it's my job, so maybe I'm U-hauling into all these dangerous territories.
Okay, fair. It's tough out there these days.
It is so tough. And if you find someone that you have chemistry with, I'm like, I'm down.
Like someone with chemistry who votes the way you vote.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, fine. We can look past a lot of things.
Yeah, we can like have a laugh and then you go live your alternate reality computer simulation. I guess carry on.
Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. As always, help us spread the gay agenda by writing an Apple review, rating us on Spotify, and sharing with everyone you've ever met. And if you haven't yet, join our subscription community, Made It In, for exclusive Made It Out media shows, content, and chat rooms at madeitout.supercast.com. Made It Out is produced by Matilde Jordan and worked on solely by lesbians.
Choke me with your pearls, commandment between my thighs. Thou shalt not resist.
Yeah, that one's good.